In this video, we're going to bring you the top 5 Texas two-step moves that you need to look good and feel confident on the dance floor. My name is Brian B.
I'm Miss Megan.
All right, so let's look at these all the way through. We're going to go down and back from the easiest to maybe not even the hardest. But the first one is just the single double outside turn. Single double outside turn, the double outside turn. Then we can take the double outside turn and then to a free spin. That's going to be the first set. But then we're going to take the double outside turn, quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow, so we can get in and out of this cuddle position and then a skater's position and then back out. But if we have an outside turn, we must also have an inside turn. Quick, quick, slow, slow. We can use this inside turn. Then we can use the inside turn to get to different weave type patterns, which are going to be classic two-step patterns. Finally, we're going to we'll use the inside turn. We'll start right from here. An inside turn to a whip pattern. This is kind of like a West Coast swing style whip pattern. And once you have those 5 moves, you'll be able to mix and match them to do everything you want on the dance floor. Let's talk about that double outside turn first. Because the first thing I have to do is get Miss Megan out of my way. Quick, quick, slow. I take a diagonal step to get her out of my way. I get my left hand ready and I do the double outside turn. Quick, quick, slow, slow. So from the leader's perspective, I'm going to let Megan do the followers footwork. Leaders, all we need to do is quick, quick, slow. I take a diagonal step towards her so I can just lead the double outside turn. However, the footwork for the followers, briefly.
We have to turn. So we have quick, quick, slow. We move off the track. We step facing down the line. We turn, we step, and we turn.
And then we continue. Quick, quick, slow, slow. Easy enough. If we're going to take that double outside turn to a sweetheart position, I just need to catch the hand in front of my head. Quick, quick, slow, slow. Quick, quick, slow, slow to get to this position here. This is the first one I want to use because it keeps Megan from having to go backwards the whole time. Leaders, all I need to do here, we're going to do this in baby steps. As I'm turning Megan, the second this comes to me, I got to catch it early, over her head, and then drop this right forearm on her shoulder. So in real time, footwork is exact same for the followers, except for you're going to land forward. Quick, quick, slow with a prep. Outside, change the hand, and now we can dance Megan going forward in this sweetheart position. From the sweetheart position, we need to get the heck back out of it. So from here, I want you to practice this. Quick, quick, in, out. Quick, quick, in, out. On the out, I want to let go of this hand and just pull this back slightly to lead a free spin for Megan. If we look at it going the other way, let's pick it up from here. Yeah, we have quick, quick. This in-out part I find to be the hardest, so I want you to practice that. Once you get comfortable on the out part, I let go of this hand. Quick, quick, slow, slow. Now you're going to notice there's a problem here. Megan and I aren't lined up. As the follower, I just want you to go straight. As the leader, I want you to adjust to your follower. So she's on this track over here to my right. Quick, quick, slow, slow. As I free spin her, I'm just going to take my footwork to line back up and pick her back up. So that is our outside turn to sweetheart position. But if I'm in sweetheart position, I might as well learn some variations. So from this sweetheart position, I can take this to a cuddle position, then to what we call a skater's position, and then a free spin. Same deal, lining back up with Megan on the end. How do we do this? Easiest way to practice this is what we call baby steps. I'm just going to take this left hand. Megan's going to baby step. I'm going to switch to my right hand. I'm going to end up here. Then I'm going to do this one where I drop this left hand, switch again, and end up here. And then I free spin her, and she ends up back in front of me. So from here, left hand down, change cuddle, left hand down again. We call that skaters. Free spin, start the lawnmower, we're ready to go. Here's how it looks.
Don't really.
Not really. Quick, quick, there's my in, out. Then my quick, quick, in, out again. She's prepped again. Quick, quick, in, out. She's prepped again. And free spin, slow, slow. Now you can stay still in either one of those positions. Once I get here, I can stay here through a bunch of basics, right? I can turn Megan to this cuddle and dance a bunch of basics. And same thing with here, I can dance a bunch of basics. What I've found is, especially this cuddle position, gets really uncomfortable for the followers. So as we get better, we want to get used to just prepping in, out, quick, quick, in, out, quick, quick, in, out, quick, quick, in, out, free spin, and get us the heck out of there. Now, if we have an outside turn, like we said before, we need an inside turn. I find this to be easiest for me. Quick, quick, slow with a prep. Now from here, this is like a ballroom promenade position. I'm going out ahead of Megan as I drop this hand. Quick, quick. I'm going to use that in, out prep again. Practice again. Quick, quick, in, out. Quick, quick, in, out. When I'm ready for the turn, I want to stay put as I pull this around. Quick, quick, slow, slow. Line back up, and then we go. So we do it again from the top. Quick, quick, slow. There's my prep. Quick, quick, in, out, quick, quick, slow, slow, and I have an inside turn. Why would I need an inside turn? Well, because it's the easiest way to get to the weaves, the classic two-step weaves. We're just going to use one of the weaves, the inside weave, and that looks like this. Quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, quick, in, out, quick, quick, slow, slow. Here's my weave, slow, inside turn, and quick, quick, slow, slow. This is tricky. Same stuff for the followers, but this weave action is going to be a little crazy. Quick, quick, slow with a prep. I get this hand ready. Quick, quick, in, out. Now the inside turn. Quick, quick, slow. I'm staying alongside of Megan. We're going to step back or back at a little angle on that last slow. So we did that again. Quick, quick, slow, slow. Quick, quick, slow, step back. Now from here, I want to take this left hand to my left side and go under it from my quick, quick. Quick, quick, slow. I want my left foot, my left hand, her right foot to land on that first slow. Step sideways to face each other on the slow. Inside turn to come out. Let's do that same way again before we come back. So we've landed the inside turn, we're here. I want this left hand to move to my left. Quick, quick, slow, slow. Now she's set up for the inside turn. I pull this hand in between us. Quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow. And as you'll see, the rule is the followers are going to turn as straight as possible. I, as the leader, will make the adjustments. Followers, you don't need to make the adjustment for us. We'll do it. So final time, the inside turn to the full weave. Quick, quick, slow, slow. Quick, quick, in, out. Quick, quick, slow, step back. Quick, quick, slow, slow. Inside turn, and we're done for quick, quick, slow, slow. There's one other basic position that you're going to see that will let you get to all the rest of your two-step patterns, and that's going to be what we call a whip pattern. Whip pattern. I can get to this from a bunch of different ways. The inside turn is my favorite. Quick, quick, slow, slow. Quick, quick, slow, slow. Quick, quick, slow. We step away. Quick, quick, slow, slow, and an inside turn finish. So you'll see how these basic inside and outside turns create the building blocks for all of our patterns. Whip is tricky if you've never done West Coast Swing. If you've done West Coast Swing, it's not so hard. Quick, quick, slow with a prep. Quick, quick, slow, slow. Quick, quick, slow. On the first slow, I'm going to step close to Megan. My hands in between. There's a little bit of a push out. Now, it's not that I'm pushing her, but because she's turning into that hand on the first slow, we step back on the second slow. Now from here, like a whip in West Coast Swing, quick, quick, I'm staying to the left side. There's a slot in between us. Quick, quick. I'm on this side of the slot. On the slow, I step across. I look at my watch. On the second slow, I step to the side. Now I have the inside turn position for Megan. Quick, quick, slow, slow. Let's look at that from, we'll do the same side. So we've stepped away. Quick, 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 slow. On this next slow, I have to switch the hand to look at my watch, step sideways for slow, lead the inside turn, slow, and quick, quick, slow, slow. But just for some fun, let's add the outside turn to that whip position. So now you can see there's a branch of the tree where all these patterns work together. So we've hit this position, our whip position, quick, quick, slow, slow, and outside turn finish. So how does that work? The position of my left hand on the slow. Quick, quick, slow. This hand goes up this time. So inside, my fingers are faced inside. That's the direction she's going to turn. Outside turn, I switch my hand so it goes outside, so she turns the other direction. So that's the focus. Quick, quick, slow, slow. I use both hands to step her back for slow. I keep the left hand going. Quick, quick, slow, slow, and off to the races. And if you're still here at this point, I recommend you try to mix and match some of those patterns. Here's an example before we leave you off with a free gift. Quick, quick, slow, slow. Here's my inside turn to a whip pattern. Quick, quick, slow, slow. Maybe an outside turn to a weave pattern. Now maybe an inside turn to change the hands, outside turn to get to this position, and you'll see how everything mixes and matches together. Now you probably want an easy way to figure out what the heck move do I do from this hand and what do I do? So we've created what we call a pattern tree, which teaches you how to link together all of these moves. You can download it 100% free here, so you can click outside turn and it will open up a branch of all of the different moves you can do from an outside turn, or inside turn, all the different moves, weaves, whips, etc. Download it right here free. And if you want to see my all-time favorite two-step move, you can watch that right here. See you on the dance floor soon.